Hello YouTube. For a while now I've been thinking about 3D printing, and basically before I bought anything I figured I'm not so much into just experimenting with 3D printing. I actually wanted to own a printer for a reason. We've got a lot of things around the house that have little plastic parts that break, and it would be nice to have something that you could replace those parts with. It all started when I had a Carver CM1090 amplifier that the plastic button cap for the on-off switch broke. I tried contacting Carver. They said they no longer had the parts. They had sold them off to a repair facility in the US, and when I contacted them they said they weren't interested in selling parts, but I was certainly welcome to ship my amplifier off to them so that they could repair it. Now, the idea of shipping it off thousands of miles and have it come back thousands of miles and risk damage and everything else for a simple plastic button cap was ridiculous to me. The cost involved would be substantial compared to, you know, a $5 piece of plastic. So that was one of the reasons why I considered buying a 3D printer, because typically there are a lot of little plastic parts that break and render an otherwise good, expensive piece of equipment useless. Hence my investment in a 3D printer. So today it arrived, and as you can see, it is what you would typically expect a package from China to look like. All the small parts, all the small things I've ever received from them come in those little gray plastic bags with very little protection. But here we see a cardboard box that's been completely covered in tape. So open it up and have a look. I've seen lots of people. I think this is the Prusa i3, or at least something that looks like it. And I think a lot of people have received these and had bent parts, broken parts, missing parts. So we'll dig into the box and see what I've got here. But the review on this one is going to take some time, because it definitely needs some assembly prior to trying it out. And if you check YouTube, you'll see that there are plenty of upgrades and plenty of modifications that people have done to these things to improve their print quality. I as well have some of these modifications in mind, and I've already ordered some of the things that I need to modify this printer so that the quality is better than what you get out of the box. So I guess we'll tear into the box and have a look and see what's in there. There's the manual, Prusa i3 from Geeetech. This appears to be somebody's packing list. Makes it look like they've gone through the box while packing and checked off everything that's included in the box. So we'll have to, once we get this all out, we'll have to go through this and make sure it's all here. Oh. Lots of random little parts here. Again, I'm going to have to go through this with the packing list to make sure all that's here. So, what's interesting is that, I mean, this is fairly heavy. Yeah, it's only acrylic, and it's got a thin layer of bubble wrap on it. But they put this in the package on top of the glass and the heater, which, I mean, obviously this one appears to have arrived in one piece, surprisingly, because not only did they put some fairly heavy acrylic on top of this, but they packaged the glass on top of these wires, which puts a lot of pressure in the center of this if there's something heavy on top of it, you know, which increases the likelihood of it getting broken. These wires could have been wrapped up on one end and left off to the side so that the glass didn't risk getting split in half due to the pressure that's sitting on those wires. So yeah, you know, it arrived okay, but you know, -5 for the ability to pack it. Yeah, and the other thing that was packaged on top of the glass and the heater bed was some aluminum, and that's, you know, the combined weight of these, it's fairly substantial. A few thousand grams. It's got some weight to it. See, instead of filling this space in the box with a roll of filament, they provide me with a couple of feet of it, just enough to, you know, clog up the head and not really give you any idea of what this thing is capable of. I certainly couldn't print much with that, for sure. Okay, so this looks like a controller, which I've read many reviews, and many people say these things come with poor drivers, not set up properly, cause the motors to run backwards to what they're supposed to. So, I mean, hopefully they got all those kinds of bugs worked out, and I'm not going to have to mess with this, because being that this is Arduino based, and there's issues with old drivers, and hopefully I don't have to deal with that, because that'll be a huge pain in the ass. It's kind of not my forte, fucking with this kind of shit. That's what it is. Let's have a look at the second level here and see what we got. Yeah, the IEC input and on-off switch, wiring harness. I believe that's the upright part of the printer. So far everything looks good. Okay, here's where we get into the meat of things. Part of the description of this unit, they state that this unit is supplied with a European plug. So, being that I'm in North America, this thing's fucking garbage. Luckily for me, I have a bag full of spare power cords that I keep around in case I'm working on a piece of equipment that needs a new power cord. I always keep these around. So I'll have to find one that's appropriate to the current draw of the power supply, so that I don't end up with overheating cords and that kind of thing. That's the one I'll use. It's perfect for the job. Great. USB cord, the nuts, and bolts. I suspect these are all metric. I don't know. We'll see. I hope not, but typically that would seem to be what I'm up for. Some metric stuff that I'm gonna have trouble finding spares for should I require it. Just various little parts. Generally speaking, it all seems to be sort of middle of the road kind of quality stuff. There's obviously no high quality parts like you'd get from, say, Japan or Italy or the US or anywhere in North America. Anyway. This is all pretty low end stuff. It is what it is. There's connectors, limit switches, wiring harness, more wire loom, it's a file of sorts. Just have to look at the instructions at some point and figure out what the hell that's for. Not sure. We'll see. Zip ties. Hopefully they're decent and actually hold. This looks like the motor driver board. Get into that. Yeah. Cooling fan for printhead, I would guess, or maybe not. Seems to be one on the printhead already. Belt. Linear bearings. Bulldog clips. A knob. More linear bearings. Encased in these little black plastic housings. Which will probably break if they're over tightened. As will the acrylic or any other plastic parts. Yeah, not sure. Oh, that's the clip that holds the belt together.